Happy Halloween, everyone! And today I want to tell you guys some of my top 10 favorite spooky games or horror games of all time. I thought it would be fitting since it's Halloween and everybody loves to do something a little spooky on Halloween, right? So let's get straight into it. These are in no particular order. I just wanted to kind of talk randomly about some of the things that I enjoy. Number one. So I got Until Dawn on this list. No. Okay, so the games that I'm going to be talking about, they are a bit repetitive. There are multiple entries in the franchise on this list. They're not, every slot isn't a different franchise, but I think they're all valid in their own right, and they're all great games, just period. So you could really enjoy them any time of the year. So I'm going to go with number one, Luigi's Mansion. 3 specifically. I think Luigi's Mansion 3 is a great game, kind of a bit of a hidden gem. Not that many people talk about it. I do love me some Luigi's Mansion. I have ever since I was a little kid, and I think that they get overlooked by Mario a lot. Bro, bring back the year of Luigi, please. We need a 4th Luigi's Mansion. But 3 I thought was phenomenal and really brought the series to a whole new height. I thought that the whole theme with the hotel was just a blast. I thought that was awesome how they integrated the different levels and themed each floor with a different theme, where there was mummy themes and just like water themes and whatever kind of stuff is in there. There's all sorts of different kind of fun things to play around with on every floor, and it's really a joy to explore every corner in that game. And I think they really did a great job with the boss fights. I love King Boo. I think King Boo is underrated as heck, bro. I want more King Boo. And so I think that it's just a phenomenal game. I think it's like a solid 9 out of 10 game, and I've replayed it twice since it came out in 2019, and it probably looks even better now on a Switch 2 if you have one of those. So yeah, I think that's the first one. The second one, just to keep things concise, is Luigi's Mansion 2. I think Nintendo just re-released this game about a year ago, and I think that it's definitely underrated, just like the third one. For some reason, this franchise should have more games in it, but there's only 3 in the span of 20 years or something, which is ridiculous. But I have enjoyed the second and third one. I've never played the first one, so I can't put it on the list. I'm sure it was great for the time, but my first experience was the second one, and I think it kind of gets a lot of hate online, but I don't really understand where that comes from, because I think it's just solid, a great game. I played it on the 3DS back in the day, and they ported it on Switch finally, and I replayed it again, and I just think it's a phenomenal game. It's definitely made for that 3DS hardware, but the level design is very close cornered and small, kind of like your 3DS was a small portable system. But I think it still is a great game to this day, and I can't wait for whenever they finally announce a 4th one, because I'll be buying that day one. So I'm gonna go with number 3. This is quite a big shift in tone from Luigi's Mansion. I gotta go with Outlast, man. Outlast is one of my all-time favorite games. I really have not gone very long at all without thinking about this franchise. I first experienced it coincidentally, we were having a church service where I was playing the game, and I ended up going in the back room, and I had Games with Gold, if you can remember that. They had just given this game out for free. I had no idea what this was. It was a totally new blank thing for me. I popped it open on my Xbox, and it blew my mind. It completely changed my perception of what games could do. I've never played anything more scarier to this day. It is like an all-timer. I love this game so much. But if you don't like horror games, which, first of all, why are you watching this video? But it's probably not for you. This is definitely not a kid's game at all. But if you enjoy some real intense suspense and tension, then this is the game for you, man. The story I thought was really cool too. You play as this reporter with a night vision camera, and you go throughout this asylum and record things, and you see through the night vision, and it is absolutely terrifying. Like, you will not get this much fright from just about any other game on this list. So check it out though, it's phenomenal. And I will never forget playing this for the first time. I wish I could re-experience it for the first time again. It's one of my deepest memories. All right, number 4, Outlast 2. Outlast 2 is just as great as the first. I think it's completely different than the first. I think that it's a game that was trying to do something different than the first game story-wise, because the first game was very much a claustrophobic story set in an asylum, and I love that game, you know, but I think that they felt like they probably couldn't top that, so they went in a different direction to give you a different flavor, and I really respect them for that. I think when the first game came out, it kind of got some hate because it wasn't exactly like the first, but I think it's just as valid of a game and story, and it's really an excellent story in my opinion. I love how it's about this girl named Jessica. You play as this guy named Blake, and his wife. They're in a helicopter. They're like news reporters. They have a video camera just like the first. It's got night vision. They crash land, and then they find themselves in the middle of nowhere, where it's kind of this desert area with like this war between this cult and two sides about religion, and they're sort of at odds, and Blake is like in the middle of this and just trying to kind of find his wife Lynn. And then, you know, it's very psychological, and there are flashbacks and hallucinations that Blake has about this girl named Jessica from his childhood that Lynn knows, and it's just phenomenal. And then there's this like overlord guy who's like a prophet, and his name's Noth, I believe. Voice acting on point, bro. Like, it's totally peak. Like, it's a phenomenal game. I think about it all the time. I've replayed it about twice and 2 or 3 times, and the first game I played just countless times. It's just unforgettable experiences, and more people should really know about them. So if you haven't somehow heard about these games, I highly recommend it. And yeah, so next game, number 5. I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 is really a sort of rebirth for the franchise. It went back and remade a classic of a game and basically made it into a modern version, making it basically a completely different game, third person. And I wasn't alive when the original came out, but I absolutely love the remake. It's got to be one of the best remakes of all time. And I think that it is totally worth the hype. I just finished it just a couple days ago, replaying it again for this year, just because I never played. So in the game, you get to play as either Leon or Claire, and they're basically the same game, but there's a few differences if you choose either Claire or Leon. And so first time I played it, I played as Leon. Second time I played it, I thought I'd go with Claire this time, and there are some kind of fun surprises. It's just a little bit of a different flavor than Leon's, and so you get to see kind of a different perspective in the same game, and I think that stuff is really fun. I think more games should do that, and it's just excellent. It's kind of just over the top in a zombie fashion, where, you know, it's just kind of all blah blah blah, you know, like, but like, you know, blah blah blah, blood, guts, you know. But my God, when I tell you that you will empty an entire magazine of bullets before you get one of these freaking suckers down on the ground, man. Like, oh my god, these dudes will not die. They will be shot in the head about 5 times and they still get back up, brother. It is outrageous. So, be prepared for that. It is totally like, makes you feel like you do not have enough bullets. Like, there were many times in the game where you're just like, I do not have enough. I have like 3 bullets here. How am I supposed to survive this? And, somehow the game just barely gives you enough. Just at the exact moment you need something else, you find just a few more bullets to get you down the line. And it's just awesome. It's a masterclass, and highly recommend. And so, keep within Resident Evil, number 6. I'm going to go with Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 was the first time I experienced Resident Evil back in about 2016, I believe. And if you can remember, that was when around the PSVR came out, and it was quite a time to be alive for, I'm a VR fan, man. I think that VR kind of gets done dirty. I wish more people bought one, because I think VR really is cool and a very different way to play a game. And I would like to see that to be supported more, but the developers and companies need to support VR by giving us something to buy, I believe. So, but anyway, at the time, that was when Resident Evil 7 came out, and I knew nothing about the franchise. I just saw a bunch of YouTubers like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, all these people are jumping on the bandwagon of VR, and it's awesome. It's totally different and new, and it's one of my favorites to this day. I would say Resident Evil 2 and 7 are neck and neck in my opinion for my favorite. Personally, they're completely different, but they are both valid. And so 7 is kind of about this guy named Ethan Winters who tries to find his missing girlfriend Maya, and he finds himself taken to this place called the Baker's family, and then it's her family, and it's this whole crazy, they're infected, and it's awesome. Just like kind of this dude with a chainsaw comes in, the dad is just a maniac, and you just gotta survive. Your hand gets cut off. It's crazy. So it's a great game, and a lot of these games have a theme of puzzles. I'm a person who loves puzzles myself, so I think that if you don't like puzzles, maybe these games aren't the best, but it does take some patience, but I think they're pretty satisfying, and I enjoy them. I think that they're pretty different and have some variety compared to just a lot of other games out there. There's a lot of games that shoot things and blah 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 and blood and whatever, but I think the puzzles kind of differentiate it, and I like that. Number 7, Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is awesome. I think it's these indie games that came along and just blew my mind, just like all the other franchises on this list. It's completely different. I think that Little Nightmares is kind of this mix between Inside and this sort of new genre of like small little guy running through things, and it's a side scroller. So it's this really cool new unique gameplay loop, which is like you kind of run from left to right and you are being chased by these monsters, and I think it's just a lot of fun, and also as you run or go through the story or the game, there is the background tells a story with environments. It's kind of up to your own interpretation, but it's really fun. I think it separates itself from other things because you see all these things in the background and you're like, well, what is that? And you kind of end up putting 2 and 2 together if you want. You don't have to. It's not at all necessary to enjoy it, but it's just kind of there, and I like that. I think that those details really make a difference in my opinion, and I just think that it has some of the most unique character design out there in my opinion. It has this like grotesque look, but it's also just kind of animated in a really delightful way. So anyway, I just love it, and I also am going to combine this and go to number 7 and say Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares 2 kind of just gives you everything that you want from the first one, but they add a companion and it's more bosses and just more dread, and it tells a different story kind of with the two characters, and there's some fun sort of surprises along the way, and I just think it's awesome. It really takes the series to a peak, and I feel like it kind of feels like the end of the franchise. Like the developers really designed it that way, and I think it was just so excellent. So I just highly recommend this as well. And number 8, I'm gonna go with Luigi's Mansion 2. Talking about franchises in Luigi's Mansion, I think Luigi's Mansion is just a lot of fun. I think that it is just unique and really nothing else like it. I think 2 is really underrated. It was made for the 3DS, but they remade it and ported it to the Switch, and you can tell sort of those small gameplay design was made for like a small kind of handheld experience, and I think that it's just fun, perfect for the spooky season. And yeah, I just think it's awesome, and I think it gets kind of not enough love out there. I think that the Luigi's Mansion games are some of Nintendo's best, in my opinion, and so I always love a new iteration of the series, and it's super unique. You know, it's kind of doesn't fit in any category exactly, because it's not like a straight up horror game, but it's not like a Mario game either. So, you know, it's kind of has this fun middle thing where there are puzzles, and there are sort of this interesting mechanic with the Ghostbusters like vacuum machine or suction cup thing, and you know, there's some just interesting little things in those games that really no other game has. And I love the art and look of the games as well. I love the design of the houses, and you just see the pictures on the walls and the ghosts come through the walls, and it's just fun. And you know, you can't go wrong with it. It's really just family friendly and kind of scratches that spooky itch at the same time. So anyway, I'm gonna go with number 9, Outlast Trials. Outlast Trials. Speaking of Outlast, this is an online experience. I think this game is really underrated as well. It kind of made a splash when it first came out a couple years ago, but it deserves some more love. I think that those guys, Red Barrels, man, they are some twisted people, you know. I don't want to know what's going on in their heads, but they totally deliver on crafting a awesome horror experience, and this game is really just as great as the first 2 Outlast games. It's completely different from the first 2, but it's multiplayer, and you get to sort of survive with your friends, and I love games like that. I love when you get to kind of collaborate with your friends, and I really believe that they do some very creative things that not many developers think of, and it's a really awesome online multiplayer game that I've never really seen anywhere else. You know, there are some details like when you speak into the controller, I believe that like it comes through the speakers in the game, and so little details like that really separate it from everything else. And yeah, you know, you're running and surviving and stuff, but you know, there's great cosmetics if you want that stuff too. And you know, I just love the art direction in general. It's all just like top tier stuff. So anyway, gotta throw that out there. I don't think anybody really talks about that. And I'm gonna go with number 10, Until Dawn. Until Dawn is a special one to me as well, just like all of these games on the list. But I found this game on PS Plus one day around like 2016 or something with my brother, and we were just scrolling through trying to find something to play, and we played that game, and it's awesome. You get to make choices throughout the game. It's about these college kids, kind of like a parody of horror movies, but it creates this subversion and unexpected sort of unraveling of events from what you sort of would expect with these types of teen horror movie, slasher movie type things, and it's excellent. The storytelling is fantastic. I really think it's probably Supermassive's best game still after all these years. I don't really think they've topped it, and I think that it's just awesome because you get to make choices, and those characters will die depending on your choices, whether they live or not, and you kind of get in this loop of trying to keep the characters you want alive and maybe not caring so much about the ones you don't care about, and it's just fun, and the story is awesome. I think it has some great twists and turns that is unlike anything else I've played, and so I think that one is probably pretty well known, but it just deserves all the love it gets, I think. And so so that's my Halloween list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know if you want more videos like this, and so that's all I got for you today, but I hope you have a happy Halloween, and don't forget to level up that like button if you like this video. Thank you for your time this time. Until next time, Excelsior.